want to begin the month of May talking about how we're going to begin acting on an announcement we made in January in which we are going to be adopting the former Broad Ripple United Methodist Church. Again, we announced this back in January. They came to us and asked if we would consider doing this. Next Sunday will be their last Sunday as a gathered community under that name. They are turning their property over to us, and this is going to become a new campus of St. Luke's, and that community we're calling St. Luke's Midtown. Pastor Mindy Moore is going to be the campus pastor of St. Luke's Midtown. That's a good sign, Mindy. That's a good sign, yeah. We're going to begin now talking about ways we can be a part of this and what that's going to look like and what it means. So we have a video that we want to show you, and then Pastor Mindy's going to come up for a few minutes, and I'll come back and close us and lead us into communion. So take a look at this.
Welcome to the future home of St. Luke's Midtown. I'm Mindy Moore, and I am so excited to be the campus pastor for this brand new St. Luke's location and to get to extend the unique DNA of St. Luke's beyond the doors of our current 86th Street location. In our recent 5-year planning work, we articulated an exciting vision for our church, that we envision St. Luke's as an explosive force of God's radical, just, and inclusive love, reaching hundreds of thousands of people in Indianapolis and beyond who have given up on a church or the possibility of a God who cares about them. So the creation of a new St. Luke's campus here at 61st and Guilford will help us live out that vision. We'll create a safe, inclusive, LGBTQIA+ affirming, and anti-racist church where people will encounter a God who loves them in an amazing way and can become more like Christ every day. We want to live how Jesus lived, by being good, invested neighbors and being open to every single person and family in the Midtown community. You know, one of my personal reasons for feeling so called to expand our St. Luke's community to this location is that I know what it's like to feel like you don't quite fit in a church. I know what it's like to have doubts and questions that don't have easy answers. I've been in a place where I have deconstructed everything that I've known about faith and had to build something new. And when I came to St. Luke's 8 years ago, I remember thinking, this is where I belong. This is what it feels like to really have a place where I can be fully alive and grow in my faith. And that story has been true for so many of you too. We hear over and over that St. Luke's is a place where people who had all but given up on church have finally encountered the God who loves them and a Christian community that's truly inclusive. Through St. Luke's, they've experienced the love and hope of Jesus, a Jesus who says, you belong, without any reservations. So that's the Jesus I'm excited to help people get to know, and the church that we can build together here in Midtown. And I would love for you to be a part of it. So here are some next steps. First, you can go to stlukesumc.com/midtown. That's where you can stay up to date on events that we're planning, service times, and what to expect from this new St. Luke's campus. We plan to officially launch in Advent, so stay tuned for those details. Or you could join the launch team. We're looking for about 100 people to be part of the Midtown Campus launch team. You'd participate in an 8-week launch academy that starts in August and commit to worshiping and serving at the Midtown Campus. By doing this, you will be a critical part of starting this new worshiping community. And finally, we want you to pray for the launch team and this new campus, because no matter which location you worship at, we ask you to partner with us through your prayers. Pray that we would be a great partner here to our new neighbors. Pray that people would experience love and welcome in a spiritual home. Pray that people experience transformation through Jesus that leads them to use their gifts to transform the world. This is an exciting season for our church, and we hope that you will join us as we grow St. Luke's Midtown.
Well,
Well, I am glad to hear how excited you all are, and I really echo that. I am just thrilled about this new season of ministry and the way that we can connect with our neighbors in the Midtown area. You know, one of the things that'll be different for my family is we are actually moving back to Broad Ripple this summer, and we are so excited to get to know our new neighbors. We'll be within walking distance of the church, and we'll really get to live and work and worship in that community. So I think getting to live out our values of inclusion and justice and helping people know this Jesus that sees them and knows them and cares about them, that is what makes this so exciting to me. Now, I know that maybe starting a new site feels like we're taking a page out of the St. Luke's playbook. You may know that in 1995, we started something called The Garden. Some of you may have been here for that. You may remember it. But I want to tell you just a little bit how St. Luke's Midtown will be different than that expression of ministry was. So St. Luke's Midtown will be closely aligned to what's happening on this St. Luke's campus. That means our vision and values, our sermon series, our discipleship pathway, our outreach focus, all of that is going to be closely aligned. It's probably not quite true to say we're starting a brand new church. It's a lot more accurate to say we're growing this church in a new location. So if I think about what St. Luke's Midtown might look like in 3 years, if I start to vision about that, here's what I see, and I hope you can see too. So first of all, I see a church that is closely linked to its community. We know them, they know us, we are one in the same. We are a church for the Midtown area. I also see in my head groups of neighbors walking to church together. Now, after 9:30, someone said, that is a high bar to set that we would walk to church. So that's fair. You can come if you don't walk to church. That is not a requirement. But I see us being that linked to our community and meeting in homes throughout those different Midtown neighborhoods during the week for small groups, for things like that. I also see us being a campus that is really in tune with what the needs of the community are. We take time to listen and say, how can the church respond to what we're seeing? But we're also saying God is already at work in Midtown. Right now, as we're talking, God is there. So we want to align with what the Holy Spirit is already doing in Broad Ripple, in Midtown. So I would love for you to be a part of it. I hope that's a vision that excites you. It really excites me. We can't wait to see what God does. And I want to tell you a few ways that you can be involved. You heard some of those on the video, but right after this service, I will be in the community room. You just go out those doors, slightly go left, and you're there. I'll be there to share with you some more details, answer your questions, just help you get a feel for what this new campus will look like. You can also go to that section of our website, stlukesumc.com/midtown. You can see some details there. But also, if you're sitting there today and you're thinking, okay, this vision excites me, I know what my gifts are. I'm not quite sure how this fits into this new thing. I would love you to reach out to me. You can call me here at the church. You can send me an email, but I would love to go get coffee or lunch with you and just talk about what it can look like for you to live out your gifts and passions in this new expression of who St. Luke's is. So I'm going to turn it back over to Pastor Rob, but I'm thrilled about this, and I hope that some of you will consider joining us in St. Luke's Midtown. Thanks.